Co-op Mode, round 141. This is the official video game podcast of Secret Friends Unite. I am one of your hosts, fellow gamer, Todd Oxtra from the streets of Sauvage, Minnesota. Joined by the killer Canardian, the man on the street, keeping us safe from the sea monsters on the coast. That's Mark Kierban. How you doing, bud?
I am good. I'm very, very good. It's finally nice and warm out. I'm having a good day, and I'm excited to talk about games. I've been catching up on everything, making sure I watched as much as I could over this weekend. It's summer of gaming, for better or for worse. This is what we're left with. So move over E3. There's a new something in town.
There's 4 shows in town.
I'm excited to get into it.
Yeah, I am too. You know what? We've had an overabundance of games, but there's been a lot of cool stuff. So, and we are still left with the Nintendo holding the bag. They'll just be like, hey, I got remakes for you. I got games we've been holding on to 15 years.
They're coming. Crazy thing is, we know, like, they've already pre-announced that they're going to have a showcase before the end of June. Everyone else. And I kind of want to get your opinion before we jump into everything else, or should we maybe save this for the end? Based on everything we've seen so far, yeah. And we can save this. I'll pitch the question. You can decide when we want to answer this. But based on everything we've seen so far, is Nintendo smart for holding off? Or could they have had a fairly easy win, maybe second place? As far as like the hype levels go, like where's your standing after we've seen all of these shows so far? Do you think Nintendo's smart to distance, or do you think they should have been in on all this hype and excitement and kind of could have won?
Oh, they were smart by getting out of the barrage. There's so much going on. Yeah. It just adds to the noise. And it just would have been like, here's more games that are going to distract you from the littler games. So quite honestly, the Nintendo fans will show up whenever, wherever, and I like it when there's a little bit of a brief respite and we get something cool to look forward to. Last year Nintendo did it like June 21st, so they kind of did the same thing. So I think it's time we can take a deep breath and we can get excited for something else. I'm perfectly fine. Mark, I don't even know what I'd do with another gaming like conference to talk about right now.
I don't know how I would have had time to watch it. I was trying to catch up on these. Finn's been sick the last couple of days, so like my ability to watch stuff has been a little hindered. Like last night, I intended to sit down and watch stuff, and he was just like miserable the entire night. So like I was catching up on some of these at work, like 2 monitors working on one, kind of having the other as noise in there, and then kind of looking over and like being like, oh, that looks really cool. Okay, back to work. Like that's how I watched some of these. So I got through them. I saw everything, but like attention focus, and I still haven't even watched the Apple conference that happened yesterday for the same kind of reasons. Like I haven't had time. So throwing a Nintendo conference there, yeah, crazy. I mean, that's just me. But I also think from the point of view of like, yeah, distance yourself from the noise, I think is smart. Like not just me, like not having time to watch it all. I'm sure some people out there have been like, yeah, give me more. I'll watch everything you can. But I think Nintendo just kind of being like, you know what, take a beat, absorb this stuff, and then we're going to come with ours. But as we share our thoughts later in the show on the showcases so far, I don't think Nintendo has to swing super hard to come out with a winner here. So we'll get to that. I'm jumping ahead a little bit.
As you should. It's an exciting time to be a gamer. You know what? And we're not trying to like throw shade on any of these things. It was just a lot. And quite honestly, it's going to take a lot to get the games out there and to really raise up a lot of games that you probably forgot about. And that's the biggest concern with too many games. So hopefully maybe we'll make you think about a game. They're like, I'm going to check out a trailer. So I think it's time though, Mark, to talk about people we can't get enough of. And that's our patrons.
Absolutely. So we want to thank everyone who supports us over on Patreon, where you can head right now, patreon.com/secretfriendsunite for a free 7-day trial. You get all these shows ad-free. You get bonus shows, extra content, all that kind of stuff. And the people we want to thank for supporting us right now are the the Friends with Benefits tier, John Sidors, Phoenix Sisters Cosplay, Brendan Myers, Matthew Keel, and Corian HD, as well as our BFF tier, Sean, Stella, and Henry Nias, and Missy Merchant. Thank you all for supporting Secret Friends Unite, all of our shows. It means a lot. If you can't support us through Patreon, there's other ways. Share the shows, subscribe, share a thread or Instagram post or whatever we share. Share it to your page too, and tell a friend. Everything helps. Everything goes a long way, and everything's appreciated. But if you want a 7-day free trial, go to patreon.com/Secret Friends Unite and sign up right now.
Absolutely, Mark. And just a big shout out. We're almost at 200 people on YouTube. I remember we were just trying to get to 100. So thank you all for finding us, sharing with us. And, we're trying to put stuff wherever you are. So let us know if there's a place you are that we aren't, and we'll get there. I know we're not on, Mark is doing the heavy work on TikTok. I am not. So that's probably the one space that we don't put a lot of our stuff on, but we'll see. Yeah. We'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll, when my son, now he's graduated, maybe a little more time to be internet superstar.
There you go. There you go. Well, Todd's Pokemon Rap Reels coming to an Instagram page near you.
Word. So just a PSA, guys. We have so many games to talk about. We're giving Buy Rent Return a rest because, quite honestly, Blockbuster's restocking their shelves with future things for us to buy, rent, and return. So we'll be back stronger than ever the next episode.
And really, we can rate each of these showcases as a buy, a rent, or a return if you want to. So it'll stick around in theory. I'm just spitballing this out right now. Todd didn't even know. I didn't even know I was going to say that, but that could be our kind of rating system. Because
at the end, that's really
at the end of this.
Oh no, that could be our rating for each show. I like that, Mark. Yeah, very good. It's just it's just as we planned it.
The spirit of buy, rent, return, but not in a traditional sense. So we got this. We got this.
Absolutely. So that gives us a little time. Both of us have been busy, but we didn't want to skip on what we've been playing. And quite honestly, you got a little bit preview on Holocron Chronicles on on when I came on that show. So if you want to hear my voice talk about Star Wars in a way that seemed pretty fair-handed, check out Holocron Chronicles.
Yeah, that was a great episode. I think everyone should check that out. And yeah, we've been both playing Star Wars Hunters. We talked about it a bit on that show, but we saved kind of the meat of it for this. I'm loving this to the point where I was playing up until we started recording. I played my last match, I got all set up and jumped right in this call. It is taking me away from Fortnite. I'm playing it whenever Finn doesn't want me to play Pokemon or whatever. Also, quick sidebar, because all I've been playing is Star Wars Hunters, but I will talk about Pokemon for 2 seconds. If anyone has Pokemon Violet that's listening to this show, drop me a message. I don't care where it is. I will go where you go. Drop me an Instagram, DM, TikTok, hit me up in Discord, email. I don't care. If you have Pokemon Violet, let me know, because there's a couple of Pokemon that I need, and Finn and I are so close to completing the first Paldea Dex. There's 3 Pokedexes in this from the DLC, but we are so close to completing that first one. It's crazy. And a couple of them I need are either you need to trade this thing and then trade it back or whatever. Or be in a lobby with someone else that owns a game. So even if you have Scarlet, hit me up, because there's a Finizen dolphin thing that I have to just link up with someone to do. But I need a couple of exclusives from Violet. So if you have Violet, you're my new best friend, send me a message. We'll get it on the go. Todd, you're looking for something. Are you my new best friend?
I that's what I want to see. I don't know which one Logan played, and I assume he bought it digitally. I assume, maybe. Well, Arceus is on here. Okay, where's the Pokemon game? Did we delete it? I didn't delete it.
All right.
I'll have to look.
Your, download. Yeah. Let me know later.
My niece and my nephew are huge Pokemon fans. I don't know if they bought both. I'll check it out. They're Pokemaniacs. Okay. If they've got it, I may make you their friend.
Perfect. That works. Because like I said, a couple of the things, I don't care which version you have. We have to jump in a lobby together, basically, like a friend lobby, and that's it. Like that's the whole thing. I got to jump in there for 30 seconds, level up this thing, and then bounce. But there are a couple that I'm like, I need it. There's like a penguin with an ice cube for a head. I need that thing. I don't know. My kid's obsessed with completing the Pokedex, and I'm useless right now because I'm like, I don't have another game to trade. Like I'm at the point where I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I'll just buy it and play through that version and then trade with myself because that's where I am right now, trying to please a 4-year-old.
Have you checked on OnlyFans?
I should hit up a couple like Nintendo groups or something like that before I go absolutely crazy.
Exactly.
Anyway, back to Star Wars Hunters.
Our secret friends over at the NVC group.
Maybe. Yes, exactly. I'm sure someone has it. So back to Star Wars Hunters. I'm loving this game. I said the same kind of thing, and we've talked about it before on this show, where there are certain genres that take a little extra for me to get into. We talked about it with Marvel Snap. There's been a few other games of like, if I'm excited or invested in the characters, I can get into a game that I'm not usually into. Pokemon's a great example. I don't play a ton of RPGs, but you throw a Pikachu or a Nidoran at me, and I'm in for some reason because it's nostalgia and cute little monsters, and I understand it. Star Wars Hunters is that for me. I've tried hero shooters before. I like shooter games. I like online games. Obviously, I put a ton of time into Fortnite, but the hero shooter genre, nothing's ever stuck with me more than like Fortnite, or more like to kind of keep me coming back. I always get frustrated with some aspect of it or whatever. For whatever reason, Star Wars Hunters is really hitting. And it's not like there's a bunch of established characters. There's one character who appeared in the comics as someone who had worked with Enfys Nest before, I think. But aside from, and like a vague kind of reference to that character, aside from that, these are all new characters, but familiar species. There's like a Wookiee, there's a Trandoshan, there's, like that kind of like the same kind of like Greedo, and
there's a battle droid, which is just the oddest little thing. Yeah.
But it's
a creature in a battle droid, right?
God. Right, riding a battle droid. So the same kind of thing as Queel from The Mandalorian. He's riding a battle droid. So there's all of that kind of stuff that's like, I'm interested in this character. I love the art design. The matches are all super snappy, whether it's Control, whether it's Battle Royale or Deathmatch or whatever it is. And they keep mixing it up. Even today, there's like a new event mode dropping in. That's like single control capture point. So there's no A, B, and C. It's just whoever controls this one for the allotted time. And then the capture point moves to a different part of the map. There's a lot to unlock. The season pass looks kind of robust. I'm really enjoying it. It's a nice trade up and runs really well on Switch. I'm hoping this comes to other platforms only to keep the audience high, right? But I think mobile kind of does that anyway. Mobile and Switch have such a big install base. But I think adding PlayStation and Xbox just keeps that going, especially if it starts to dip after the first couple of weeks, the engagement, I think that can shoot back up if you add other platforms. But I'm curious to see if they have that in the roadmap. What are your thoughts so far? You've put some time into this?
Yeah, I mean, I find it entertaining because I feel like it does have a pretty good clip of getting you new characters. Obviously, they're going in on skins and other, attributes, things like that. And I don't know what their monetization model is, or their seasons and things like how long they last. I know with Marvel Snap, it was like every season pass is like 2 days or something. It's like, what? They were like really fast, but they were expensive too. It was like, okay. And Zynga is they're old pros at this, so they know how to not alienate people. I think I'm hoping what they'll improve on, Mark, is like the speed and mobility. I feel like that's what Overwatch gets really well. It's like things are just, and maybe that's what, because they're on phone or Switch, they aren't ready to go there yet, even though Overwatch is on Switch. So it's a little bit different. So it does feel like a little bit more of a grounded game versus a traversal game. Um, and I'm wondering if that's why they're holding back from bringing it to PC or consoles, because they're more used to like more of that like Twitch gamer. Because if you put it on mobile, the expectation is most people are using touch controls. So
Yeah.
are they going to segment the audience? And if it's on Switch, I think that there's kind of like often, I think Fortnite one time, mobile and Switch were playing against each other.
Correct.
So I think maybe they feel like there's a common ground that works really well. And maybe
Yeah.
they would do something if it came to console or PC, they would like upres it, do different things like that, but they maybe segregate the audiences as well.
Yeah.
But have you played it on phone, or are you just playing it primarily on Switch?
Only on Switch. I do have it downloaded
Okay.
on my phone.
Do you have a
I always
backbone?
have my Switch there. No, I usually just
Okay.
hook up my Xbox controller
Oh, got it.
because I
Got it.
have a mount for the Xbox controller.
Oh, you do have a mount. Okay, I was going to say if you have a mount, then yeah, it's pretty much the same. Yeah, because I'm wondering how that would be. Is it perform better on your
Yeah, I'm gonna
iPhone? What
test
do you
it
have? A
out.
14?
14
Do you have a
Pro, yeah.
14? Okay. Yeah. So I'm wondering if it's a different performance, obviously better screen, better processor at this point.
Yeah.
Your screens, is it the equivalent size? I can't remember the size of the 14 versus the
To the
Switch.
Switch, no, I don't have the Pro, so it's just the
Oh,
regular
okay.
14.
Got
So
it.
it's
Got
it's
it.
the smaller
Okay.
one. It's definitely smaller than the
Got it.
Switch. I
Okay.
think even smaller than the Switch Lite. So it's not as much screen real estate, but it's definitely a better screen and a faster processor by far. So I am going to have to check it out, both with, I think, just for experiment's sake, both with touch controls
Yeah.
and with mounting an Xbox controller. We'll see. I'll play around.
That's pretty cool, though. I mean, I think it's neat to have a situation where you get a licensed property. Disney's really getting into this because we've got the Marvel Rivals coming out
Yeah.
as well, and we'll talk about a little bit about that following. But I think this is a good addition. It's free to play, so the barrier entry is very low. You can unlock things pretty quickly, and then the season pass really just allows you to have more fun in a game you already like. So I don't think there's anything predatory about it or not. So I think this is a win-win. And it's cool. I think we see more. I mean, Star Wars has been pretty quiet in some of these realms. I mean, we've got, like I said, we've got like some mobile games, but I feel like this one feels like it's more for more regular gamers, I would say, versus like a card game or something like that.
Yeah, I am very interested. And they've been really good so far, doing something that even Fortnite only just implemented because I think they have to. I think they were like regulated to do that by a government agent. But saying how long things are going to be in the shop, right? There for the longest time you didn't know. And as a kid, that had to be frustrating when you were like, okay, I get my allowance in 2 days or whatever, and I really want the, like Travis Scott skin or something like that. Like, when's that going to leave the shop? Is it there for a day? Is it there for a week?
The
Can I save
FOMO,
up for
right?
this, or is it gone? Right. And they've just started implementing that of like, this leaves the shop on June 13th. So you have a couple of days to get it. And this game does that from the start. The one thing I haven't checked yet is how quick the season ends. And I'm really, really curious because I've been playing a bunch of it and I feel like the level progression is good, but it's all relative. I feel it's good for like a 3-month kind of Fortnite style season pass of like, I'm unlocking things at a fair clip, considering that I have a couple of months to do all of this, right? Like I think I can hit level 100 if I have a little bit of time. If this thing's over in a week, I'm maybe making it to level 30 and I'm going to be very frustrated and not by the next season pass. So I have to check on that and I hope they get it right, because if they do, this game's going to be a knockout. And if they don't, I'm never buying another season pass and I might drop the game completely if I'm that frustrated. That's how fickle I am when it comes to that kind of stuff. So that's a good point, and I haven't looked it up yet.
So I'm wondering about that because I mean, I remember when Halo Infinite introduced their season pass, says it won't expire. So essentially, if you paid for it, it stays open until,
Right.
I guess, until you exhaust it.
Yeah.
Is there a negative of doing that, or do you feel like that's the way it should be because you should be able to get the full benefit of what you paid for?
I think that's the way to go. Fortnite has frustrated me. Even the last season, I didn't unlock everything. And I should say I didn't unlock all the bonus stuff. because I hit the level 100, but then you can get up to level 200 and still unlock variant skins and this and that, whatever. The last season of Fortnite, I think, is the worst I've ever done unlocking that bonus content. I only made it up to like level 100 and something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but like didn't do nearly what I do. And it's very rare that I'll get the full 200 levels, which is whatever, right? But like, yeah, this time I really didn't feel like I got the bonus worth, but like, did I still get my money's worth? Is it, like, I don't know. It's rough. It's a tough thing to gauge, right? And it is very frustrating because like, on one hand, like there is some stuff in Fortnite that I'm like, I'm really happy that I've been playing this long because I can show off this character. I can jump in with this emote or this thing that was an exclusive that I got because I've been playing for the last 7 years that not many other people have. But at the same time, yeah, there's like stuff like you paid for it. You should get it.
Or you should get the opportunity to get it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's like those time missions in games where you hate because like I'm not really enjoying myself because I have to finish this and I wish I had more time to enjoy it, but I can't. Yeah.
But it also,
especially if it's a season you don't love, right?
Yeah, but it incentivizes you to come back and to stay engaged.
Yeah.
If you have infinite time to do it, are you incentivized to do it at all? And then also, why not just unlock everything all at once because you just paid for it? And it's like, do I have to really level up the 100 levels, or can you just give it to me?
I want the lazy payment. Yeah.
I'm just going to do it. Right. Like it's a weird.
Well, Mark, think about this. In your will, you could bequeath Finn all of your unfinished season passes and say, to you, my son, your legacy is to finish these for Papa. Do it for Papa. What does he call you? Does he call you Papa? Papa Jedi?
Yes, that's exactly what he refers to me as.
Are you going to tell him to call you that now from now on?
No. My dad's Papa, so I'm not going to confuse him with that.
Dada Jedi.
Dada Jedi. That's it.
Okay, there you go.
Digital legacy is another thing. But anyway, let's move on from that. And because you've been playing this on a new device, and I'm really curious about hearing.
Let's see if it actually shows up in my screen. It's really hard when I've got my background, but I think you can kind of see it. It's the Logitech G Cloud. This thing is a beauty. Patreon and friend of the show, Brendan Myers. He actually has been a huge proponent of this device. Logitech launched like a year and a half ago. It is literally an Android tablet with built-in controls by Logitech. It takes SD cards, has good Wi-Fi, a good processor, so it plays Android games natively. It also then plays streaming. But it also is a hell of an emulator. So if you wanted to run any Android emulation on it, you can. I think it'll go all the way up to like PS2 level games, N64, things like that. So it's a really cool device. A lot of good support for it. I really like the just the feel of it. It's very light. Got it. Mark, this device, it's got like a 9-hour battery life. It's so robust. It like never needs to be charged. It's wonderful. And then you can play it around with it like a console where it reverts to more of a console experience versus just a tablet. So I think it's a great device. I was playing Star Wars Hunters on it. It ran great. It's really fun. The screen is beautiful. It's like a big 8-inch 1080p screen. It's wonderful screen. Love it.
Nice.
And I won it in a contest. And I don't want to not give them credit. If I can find it, I will. But it was a cloud gaming count on threads that I was interacting with, and I entered and I won it and they shipped it. So thank you so much. I think it was Cloud of Sage Gaming. They're amazing. And I really like the device, and I'm going to do more with it because I always forget I have it, but it's so great that it just works on the Android store, like the Google Play Store. So I always imagine, what if Apple did a dedicated gaming device? And like, this would be perfect. I kind of wish or they even just created a controller specifically that would attach to tablets or whatever. But I know they've let others do the heavy lifting. They'll license it, like Backbone. Backbone's a perfectly good device, but I really like it, and it just means that I have something else to take with me because it also is a tablet, so I can read comics on it. I can, watch Netflix, but I can game on it as well, especially with the emulation side. It looks beautiful, and it plays pretty much everything in the sun. I just gotta play around with it a little bit more, but it's an awesome device, and I'm so glad I've got it because I don't want to play games on my phone. I do have my GameSir, but once again, I've got to remember to have it. I've got to take off my case. It's a level, and it takes your battery away from your phone, which you need to like call 911 on or check it.
How often are you calling 911? That's like a concern.
Mark, what I do in my spare time is my business. Don't judge me. Don't judge me.
We were talking about that at work today. Someone was like, I really expected quicksand to be more of an issue because they were reading a story about a woman that got caught in quicksand. And they were like, it finally happened.
Where?
I hope she's okay. In Maine, I think they said, or somewhere in the States.
Okay, that's the last place on earth I ever thought there would be quicksand.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly.
Like the Sahara Desert, the rainforest.
I could have that detail wrong. I thought it was somewhere in the States. I could be very mistaken. But they did say that, like, someone was caught in quicksand. And I was like, I hope they were prepared from 90s cartoons. And
do you have a rope? Do you have a stick?
Yeah, or a snake could work. But I really thought quicksand was going to be much more of a problem. Same thing with being on fire, because they drilled stop, drop, and roll into our minds so much that I thought I'd be on fire a lot more than I have been in my life.
Another question is, Mark, how often do you hear about people dying because they ate before they
constantly? That's a big issue up in Canada. Yeah.
I believe, is that Justin Trudeau's, is that like his national platform? We must stop this eating before swimming.
The big problem isn't like, people getting cramps. It's just the amount of poutine that they eat, and it sits in your stomach like an anchor and just weighs you down. People don't think about it.
It's a national tragedy.
We're always sticky from all the maple syrup, so we get caught up in the bottom, the stuff on the bottom of the river, and maple syrup doesn't wash off that easy. So you're still sticky even if you're in the water. So the poutine weighs you down, and then you get stuck with the maple syrup, and it's just a recipe for disaster.
God, I thought Australia was bad, but Canada, man, it's a maple death cloud of poutine.
That's it. Yeah.
We should bring that back. What fictional death do you feel was overrated or over exemplified in your youth? So I don't know what the millennials have these days, but I know Gen X. Yeah, it was a lot of that, or there was a lot of like punks, street punks with mohawks. Always everywhere.
Tons of street punks. Everywhere.
Yeah, with switchblades. Yeah, don't see a lot of those these days. Oh well, they probably solved the problem. Well, now it's time to talk about all of the awesome showcases we got, Mark. So I'm just going to run down this really quick. May 30th, we have the PlayStation State of Play. June 7th, Summer Games Fest, Day of the Devs, Accessibility Showcase, IGN Live, Devolver Digital. June 8th, Wholesome Direct, Future Games Show, Summer Showcase, IGN Live. June 9th, Xbox Game Showcase and Redacted Direct, IGN Live. June 10th, Ubisoft Forward. Nintendo is still TBD.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I just want to look really quick. I watched Summer Game Fest. Did not watch Day of the Devs. Did not watch Accessibility Showcase. I did watch some IGN Live, some Devolver Digital, because I kind of wanted to see what their weird skit was going to be this year. Did not watch Wholesome Direct. Did not watch Future Game Showcase. There we go. I only missed a few, but probably half, which just tells you how much there was. I also had company this weekend. My son graduated, so I'm giving myself a hall pass.
Yeah, that's it.
Mark, when would I have to turn in my gamer card, though? Is it like if I only watch one of them?
I don't know, man. Some of these were rough. I don't think you'd have to turn in your gamer. Like if you missed the Xbox show, but I don't know. That's...
I didn't watch the Call of Duty piece after because I feel like they showed a trailer and I'm like, what am I going to see for 30 minutes?
I watched like I skipped through a little bit of that and just saw like a bit of gameplay and stuff, and I was like, yeah, you know what, it's Call of Duty. I'm out. I bounced. So I'm with
You'll
you.
play it on Game Pass for $0 in the fall if you
That's it.
choose to.
And
Yeah, exactly.
there was a leak or somewhere published that it was a 300 gig download, and then they've already
Yes.
said no, it's not.
No?
Don't worry about that. So if it's not a 300 gig download, they've already corrected that. They haven't said how much it is, to my knowledge, but they have said that that is false. It is not taking up most of an Xbox Series X hard drive.
Have they? Okay, let's see if they've shown what it is now. Let's see if we actually have it revealed install size.
I am curious.
Okay. Well, this says Screen Rant says 309 gigs.
Yep, that's a false one.
Because, okay, here we go. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 install size can be 300 gigabytes, but Treyarch says it isn't representative of the whole game. That was 15 hours ago of the typical player install experience, Mark. So I don't know what that means, but they didn't say weird. It can't be. So
vague, yeah, strange wording.
Yeah. I'm guessing because that whole Call of Duty app thing you get that has like Warzone and everything else.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Yeah. If it's like, if that's the full, all of the DLC possible, you know, like if you're like the Call of Duty super fan and you have all of the DLC and like Warzone and this and that and everything else, and I'm sure there's other things to download too that most people won't, like, you know, 8K assets or something for whatever. Yeah, like there's got to be something there that can bump it up to that. But I'm sure it'll be big.
It includes the Wii version of Call of Duty as well.
That's it. Yeah, nailed it.
It has 90,000 languages, even languages that haven't been invented yet. Those are included too. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, I heard it.
It also includes
a whole new emotional impact when it's read and acted in Klingon. It really hits.
Yeah, and it actually mines Bitcoin while you play. Sorry, guys, they didn't tell you that. Well, we'll get into that in a second. So we're going to start off with the PlayStation State of Play. So I think to just set the stage, the State of Play is like the PlayStation Showcase nobody likes. It's not. Yeah. It's not their. What is it even called? The regular one? Is it the PlayStation Showcase? The PlayStation Direct? PlayStation presentation? There's another name that is like the big PlayStation event.
Me. Yeah, not a clue.
Are you doing some research?
I'm trying to like just Google search it, and PlayStation Direct is not what it's called because that's bringing up some kind of shopping.
Not a showcase, not a.
I don't know.
Okay. This is not the big one that would typically be their E3 show. It's their one. It's kind of like their obligation showcase is what I always call it. It's like, we have business deals. But this one was a little bit bigger. It was on May 30th, dropped out of the blue. And I'm going to go through these names really quick. Mark, you stop me if you want to talk about something. Astrobot was the game of the show. I am so excited about this. This is a $60 game. It is amazing. This is essentially the first time Astrobots had a full-fledged game exclusively to console, and I'm for this. It is a celebration of PlayStation. There are so many Astrobots playing around. There's a Fennec Fox. DualSense is actually a spaceship. Who knew? Yeah. Maybe that's why it's so heavy and the battery runs out, because it can actually go to space.
That's it. If you haven't tested it, you don't know.
I don't know how to do it. Is there a Konami code?
Most likely, yeah.
Okay, yeah. This is coming out September 6th, and I am stoked.
Yep.
They are doing what Nintendo don't this fall, probably.
I can guarantee you Nintendo's not going to have Astrobot. So, yes, that is, by definition, something that Nintendo don't.
Correct. Okay. Yep. So, Mark, you don't own a PlayStation 5, but... I
don't. That game looks delightful.
Your son would love Astrobot. Yeah. The little game he plays with it, the DualSense stuff, is amazing.
We've watched Astrobot
Oh, that's right.
like
Your brother has a
playthroughs
PlayStation
on
5.
YouTube.
Oh,
And
okay.
no,
Oh,
like
okay.
even just at
Oh,
home, like we've watched like
okay.
playthroughs of the full games on YouTube. Like it's a character he knows and is familiar with and loves. And I like, if anything in this whole showcase is going to get me to buy a PlayStation 5, it's that freaking game. If we weren't like saving for a Disney trip, that might be on my list of things to spend some money on. But as of right now, I don't think this showcase is enough to get me to take money away from my Disney fund. So, um, yeah.
I agree. And by the way, folks, no hardware was shown at this showcase, so don't worry. Next, Concord was shown. This is essentially Guardians of the Galaxy and a hero shooter. So think about everything we talked about with Star Wars Hunters, but with a very beautiful version of that game. It's $40, not free to play. I
Good
worry about this
cinematic to
game.
start with, but
Yeah.
like, who charges for a hero shooter nowadays? You know what I mean? Like for a new hero shooter, like I just don't. It's such a competitive market, and man, I don't know. I don't
And they've
know.
also got like a season pass or something, like some type of
Yeah,
payment. So it's not like they're giving you all the shit free later
yeah,
on. So
yeah.
sorry if I swore if that hurt anybody's feelings, but yeah, it's a hard ask to do that. Next, God of War is going to PC. Looks great. Till Dawn is getting a remaster, but it's because it's coming to PC. Great game. Play it. Then we had a VR showing, Mark. Skydance's
Woo!
Behemoth. This game looked awesome.
Looks
And this may be coming
amazing.
to Quest 2.
Oh yeah.
No, I mean, I would think it might be coming there because they didn't say this was an exclusive. They just said it's coming to PSVR 2. So I could see
Hmm.
this coming to Quest 2.
Oh, and it is. Yeah. That's the studio that did Walking Dead: Saints and Sinners. Oh
Yeah,
shoot. Yeah. This
I
definitely
bet it
could come
will.
to Quest.
Yeah, and it's a cool
Ooh,
looking game. Fighting
so good.
Deem, yeah, looked really, really cool. I'm glad they showed this. But yeah, once again, not a no first party VR2 PSVR2 games shown, which is a huge disappointment. Then we have Path of Exile 2, which is not something I'm interested in. Monster
No.
Hunter Wilds, which is coming to everything except for Switch, but will come to Switch 2 probably. If you're into Monster Hunter, this
Looks
game
cool.
is for you, not for me. Silent Hill 2 did not look great for a lot of people, but it looked better than the PlayStation 2 game. Or PlayStation 2. So I'll give them
Yeah.
kudos for that. And I may try it finally.
Yeah.
Alien Rogue Incursion, Mark. Do you want to poop your pants in VR?
I mean, you just throw on some Depends, and you can play as much as you want. So I mean, it looks cool. People love Alien games as long as it's faster to get started than what's the Alien game that I played as a challenge a couple years ago. Uh,
Oh, it's
different.
Alien. Oh, I know what you're talking. Isolation.
That's the one. As long as it gets going quicker than that one, I think this could be a hit.
You don't want to play hiding in a cabinet simulator?
I didn't even hide in a damn cabinet, and I played for over 5 hours. Nothing happened. Come at me. So this game just needs to go faster than that one, and it should be fun.
Unless it can go fast, Mark. Just go out and run like a demon. Go, ah!
That's it. Yeah.
And they'll kill you. Yeah. So there you go. That's how you make it fun, Mark. See how quickly you
Perfect.
can die. Yes, yes. Then we had Marvel Rivals. This has been shown before. This is a hero shooter again. It's free to play. It's going to be on a lot of stuff, and I think it actually looks hella fun.
Yeah, looks cool. And that is coming to like Xbox and other things.
Xbox,
Right? Like
PC, not
PC,
Switch.
yeah.
Maybe Switch 2. Yeah. Then we're getting a throwback, a Dynasty Warriors game. It's the Origins, which,
Yeah.
quite honestly, I've never loved those games. But if you like the Hyrule Warriors games, this is essentially it. But it's going to be probably like a billion soldiers because of the power of PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
Don't know if this one is actually exclusive or not. Might come to Xbox.
We'll see.
And this is at the point with Joe Marco. We got to the Asian games with people with swords doing things, and I couldn't tell you the difference, except for Infinity Nikki, Mark. This one was crazy. It was costumes. It was cozy gaming. It was beating up crap with a little like cuddly guy.
It's a distinct looking game. I'll give it that.
Very cute. We had Ballad of Antara. That's a free-to-play fantasy action RPG game. We had Where Winds Meet. Once again, it's an open-world action RPG set in ancient China.
Mm-hmm.
If you're curious about those games, they look pretty. They look very difficult, though.
Yeah, very much like one of the, like a Born Souls kind of aesthetic to some of these. Yeah. Do you want to do our full review breakdown kind of thing now, or we're doing predictions?
Let's do our predictions and then we'll give our breakdown. So Mark, I will take what you expect to see. You'll take what you want to see, and then I'll do what you don't want to see. So when we did our showcase predictions with Cheesy C64, Cheesy, bless your heart, he expected to see Kojima and an actor. I don't remember what that was. I was trying to take notes. Do you remember what that was?
I can't remember. No.
Was there an actor?
No, it was just like
an actor
Kojima
that was going to be in one of his games? Okay. Yeah. Helen Hunt did not show up with Kojima.
No. Yep. We did get some actors, some recognizable faces, though, in the remake. What's it? Until Dawn.
Yes, that was it. Hayden Panettiere, Rami Malek, a few other people. Great game, though.
There's a few. Yeah.
And they apparently still paid them for their likenesses and their voices in the remake. Good for them. Exactly. An Oscar winner in a video game, Mark. Let's give it up. Mark, you said Resident Evil 9 was going to be announced and Spider-Man 2 was going to DLC. How did you do?
They did announce some Spider-Man DLC, didn't they? At some point over this weekend?
Just like today with more costumes.
Okay. I'm going to give myself 0.001% of a point.
Adjacent. You were adjacent. We didn't describe it could be announced 3 months after and just to get credit. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, I mean, this was all showcase predictions. I still think 0.001% of a point because it's still technically
could win the competition.
Showcase weekend. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's still there's still stuff going on.
It's like launch window. Isn't what they call it? Launch window.
Gaming weekend,
Event window.
Yeah.
Event window. I like that.
When was the last event? Yesterday? Ubisoft? Today?
Yes.
I don't know. Whatever it was. So I'm giving a fraction of a point, but that's about it.
You're adjacent. Okay. But then I said Horizon Zero Dawn, Lego, and Astrobot. I don't know why I said Horizon Zero Dawn twice. What was that? I don't even know what I meant. That's what I said, though. I don't get any points for those.
Was it coming to PC or something? Or what was the full prediction? I
don't know, Mark. I just thought we would get more Horizon Zero Dawn because it just seems like we haven't gotten anything Horizon Zero Dawn in a year, so we need more.
Yeah. Okay.
So, right. I'm guessing. But
Lego,
Astrobot.
Lego not announced for this showcase is this. We'll talk about it in a second.
Yes. That was an interesting. I'm adjacent, but I'm not taking points for it because I realize it wasn't part of a Sony announcement.
Least 0.25 of a point.
Oh, okay. A pity point.
It's way more than I got from my stupid thing, but you deserve some kind of points for the Lego thing because who would have ever? I'm not just okay. Yeah, let's.
We'll talk about it in Summer Game Fest. Yep, because we'll need something to talk about then.
Yeah, Astrobot.
Yes, I appreciate that. Good. I'm very excited about that.
What we want to see, Cheesy, new Sly Cooper game and Wolverine. Oof. 0 points. Me, a new Jack and Daxter game. 0 points. Nothing even. Come on. Todd, you said a Bloodborne remaster expansion. Lego PlayStation, not specifically to Horizon, and a new Infamous game. Man, we swung for the fences and missed everything. We were swinging for the fences while playing basketball on that one, I think. That's holy.
Yeah. What you don't want to see, Cheesy C64 said same battery. I assume he's we're going to maybe get a new I don't know what
New
he meant.
controller with, I think that was a new controller
Oh,
with a different battery or something, wasn't it? Like
okay.
there was a
Okay. Maybe.
upgraded to controller
Sure.
maybe.
Yeah. No,
Um,
no hardware at this event. Yeah.
yeah, no,
Any
no
and he didn't want to
remakes and
see any
remasters.
remake. Well, he failed on that because we got a couple. So
Yeah. Ouch.
does he not
Ouch.
know Sony? Does he not know Sony? Mark, you said no PlayStation VR 2, lame attempt, make it good. So we got like 2 games.
I think because I added the stipulation, if we get 1 or 2 games but they're absolute bangers and really showcase
Okay.
the hardware, I think that's a win. I just didn't want them to absolutely like poop in a bucket and not mention VR or like show it in like a stupid sizzle reel
Okay.
or something. So
Okay.
like I think I got this. I think the 2 games that they showed for VR were 2 of the best that they showed. You've got something really creepy, and then
Giants and creatures
the
and shooting
behemoth.
up at a foot that's going to squish you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
behemoth looked awesome. The sword flicking, like different stances, everything like that looks like it's taking advantage of hardware. It knows where your hands are. It's doing some really cool, like when he whips out the bow and arrow and like fires it off, but like kind of like plays with the arrow in the air kind of thing before lining it up. Like that game is exactly why I'm excited about VR. And I think it was an excellent showcase, whether or not it comes to Quest later or whatever. Like it looks amazing on PSVR 2. I think if I'm not getting full points for this, I'm thinking I'm getting some points, but like that's exactly what I was talking about. Because how many
No,
games
I
did we
think
get
you're
total?
right.
You know what I
There
mean?
were like
Like,
15, there were 14 games, and we only
okay,
got 2
and 2
VR.
of those were
Yeah.
absolute banger PSVR
But they
games
stood out. They stood out.
to me.
Yeah.
Especially Behemoth. Alien, take it or leave it if you don't want to experience. But I think that fear in VR, especially if you have some surround headphones or something like that, that game is going to make you poop in your pants. Just legitimately, like you are going to be in a space station getting attacked by aliens. It is going to be terrifying. And it is exactly the kind of game that alien and horror fans are going to want in
Yeah.
VR. Absolute banger showcases, nothing we've seen before. New games. It's not just some recycled Quest game or some like 10-minute experience game for like, oh, and here's a new way you can look at Lego Horizon. You look down at the Lego games as a diorama, but you can't interact with them. Like that's the kind of stuff that I didn't want to see, and they didn't show us that. And I think what we got was good. So, yeah, they did it.
I was trying to look up what that the company that did the Alien game has done. They've done Creed, Rise to Glory, Puzzled, Bobbled.
Okay.
They did Raw Data, which is a really good game. Sprint Vector. Yeah, so they've done some good games.
Sick. Yeah. Awesome.
Battle Wake. Okay.
Battle Wake. Okay.
Don't know if that game. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's give it our review, Mark. What would you give this? Buy, rent, or
You said
return?
no extended preview of Concord
Oh,
for your. I don't want to see
correct. I just didn't want like 30 minutes of a game where it's like, we actually got a longer trailer than we did get of gameplay.
Yeah, we really did. That trailer was awesome. And then
it looked great.
They were like, here's the gameplay. And it was like, ugh.
I know. I was like, oh, we're getting like this type of game, like an action game with 4 players. We're going to do missions and have a great story.
It's like, oh, that's what they're charging for. Cool. This is going to have a story.
Correct.
Mode. Awesome.
Correct.
Nah, it's just a hero shooter with a really cool trailer. Goddamn.
Exactly. Yeah. Screw you. Oh, no. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
If it's for somebody, probably not for me, especially at $48.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So, Mark.
All right. Review.
I'm going to return this. It just did not live up to my expectations, especially when Sony's been so quiet. My biggest letdown probably was majority of these games I don't care about, which is a shame. And my game of the show was easily Astrobot by yourself.
Same. Game of the show, Astrobot. Biggest letdown. Kind of, yeah, I'm kind of with you. Like the whole thing, like I said, there, like Behemoth really stood out as a VR game. Otherwise, it was like, I don't know, here's some like Japanesey kind of looking games. Here's a couple of Souls looking games. Here's some stuff that I couldn't tell you the name of 10 minutes after I saw the direct. Like, it was just nothing really stuck other than like Astrobot and like a couple of other things. The Concord trailer, I will say, was sick, but like, is it going to have some staying power? Is it going to fizzle? Especially charging for a game. And like, we got games in this that were free to play, that like big, expansive,
action
RPG
and then
that are free to play. And like, we've already talked about free to play hero shooters and stuff like that in this episode. And then they're like, here's one that you're not really familiar with the characters on or anything, but I don't know, buy it for some reason.
Even if they said it was like free to play on PlayStation Plus, or like it rewarded you for that. Anybody that didn't have the service, well, I'll join so I can play it for free, at least for a month. But not even that. I don't even know if I get any benefits from it. So I'm like,
yeah, it's a weird choice. So I'm going to do the same. I think Return, Astrobot being a standout, and Behemoth, I'm really hoping at this point comes on Quest. I'm guessing that might be, like Batman, a Quest 3 exclusive if it does. But but it's one of those things of like, those are the reasons I'm excited for VR. And I think I mentioned that before too, is of just like, I don't need these to be exclusive games, because I don't think a lot of VR exclusives help anyone at this point.
I don't think they make you buy one console and set or the other. I think you want it for
you're just
a library.
You want to buy a headset. That's it. So I want all VR games basically to come out for all VR platforms, because I think just more people need to put on a headset and experience it, rather than be like, I'm a PlayStation guy, I'm a Quest guy, I have an Apple Vision Pro. Who gives a shit? Just play a VR game and enjoy it, and then we'll worry about the other stuff once they sell like 1 million copies. You know what I mean? Like, it just
exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, Return, this one bordering on rent for a couple, but like overall kind of a yeah.
I'm hoping there's a PlayStation not state of play later this year.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what it's called. Yeah. Okay, Summer Games Fest. I'm going to go through this very quickly because there was so much there. Lego Horizon Adventures is coming to PlayStation 5 and Switch.
Weird.
But awesome looking Lego game.
Looks great. Looks great.
Looks fun.
Movement. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And everything explodes. Very fun. I was like, okay, I want to play this Horizon game. Don't really love playing the other Horizon games. So really into this. Harry Potter Quidditch Champions launches this year.
My wife was excited for it. Yeah.
Okay. Not for me. It's coming to everything September 3rd, 2024. This is not part of Hogwarts Legacy. No Room in Hell. That's the 8-player co-op zombie game.
Oh yeah, I'm so over zombie games.
Star Wars Outlaws was shown everywhere at this showcase. So if you weren't already sold, you should be sold, because this game looks awesome.
Yeah.
Civ 7, not for me. Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero, which has a game that is trying to take on Pokemon's naming conventions. Good for you. It's a fighting game. Mm-hmm. Batman Arkham Shadow trailer. Once again, it's this Quest 3 exclusive. No gameplay, but everyone that's been talking about this game says it's amazing and is going to rival the size of an Arkham game. That has
and apparently it's like pushing even the Quest 3 to the max. Like, they're not holding back. That is why it's exclusive to that hardware, because it's stressing that hardware out, and that's the most powerful standalone headset that's not like an Apple Vision kind of thing. Like, it's that game's going to be crazy.
Yeah, I'm going to be, by the way, I'm going to be visiting Sean on Friday and Henry. Logan and I we're going to get to try out the Quest 3. We're going to play some co-op with VR 2 to play the Ghostbusters game. So we're going to get excited about that. So it should be a lot of fun. Street Fighter 6 is getting a Fatal Fury crossover. If you're into that game, look for it. Blumhouse. This was kind of cool. Basically, Blumhouse, who makes all those really creepy horror films, Jordan Peele partnered with them quite a few times, but they're essentially becoming a publisher of weird and creepy games. I love this.
Yeah.
don't know if I will play any of these games though, because I'm a scaredy cat.
Yeah, that's it. I don't play many horror games, but I thought the announcement was cool.
The names are funny. Eyes Out, Half Mermaid, Cozy Games Pal, Perfect Garbage, Play Me Studio, and Vermilia. So if any of those titles, well, no, those are the studios.
That's
Sorry.
the teams.
The games are Grave Season, Sleep Awake, Crystal Theater Vitals on their way. So there you go.
Yeah.
But the game that really shocked me was the Power Rangers Rita's Rewind. This looks awesome.
Yes. Absolutely. Like, I'm in.
It's not just your standard beat 'em up either. It's got like an FPS like brawler. It's got a racing game. So it's basically kind of trying to recapture some of the SNES and older games. And I'm like, that's so smart. I love it.
Love it. Yep.
So cool. I'm assuming this is coming to everything. So, and no date, but very cool. Thank you.
Honestly, I think the trailer just said like, wishlisted on Steam, but I assume it's going to go everywhere. It has to, right? Like,
it probably hasn't gotten like whatever qualified or something to be on the consoles yet, but yeah, it's got to be. It's not like when you saw the game, it's like that's not taking like a 4090 Ti 70 Super 5200, and I just made that up. The Mecha Break sets a beta test date for this August. Basically, make a mech mark and you beat the crap out of each other. Looks cool.
Cool. Yep.
First Ascendant, because July release date. We've seen this game before. Play it if you want. Alan Wake 2, out of the blue, drops DLC and a physical edition for $200. Yeah. I'm excited to play this because the DLC mark is bringing like everyone from like the Remedy universe. You got a guy from like Sean Ashton from the Quantum Break universe. You've got Jesse Faden from Control, and then you've got Alan Wake. Max Payne's the only one left behind. Sorry, Max.
That's it. And like surprise drop of like, it's out tomorrow. I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I loved Alan Wake 2, so I really want to check this out. It's really cool. The weird one was Skate got a commercial with Tim. What's Tim's last name? Tim.
I think it's Robinson. I think you should leave.
Tim Robinson from I Think You Should Leave. Like carried out a skit, like, and then we got like 2 seconds of gameplay.
Love it. But they came back for some more gameplay. They did follow it up, but because I thought the same thing. They were like, no, it's Skate. And then they shoot back to Tim Robinson and he's still going off on his shtick. And
talking about his wife's bowel issues.
Is that all they're showing of this game? Because I thought it was just a brilliant commercial trailer kind of thing. But like, I was like, they got to show more. And then they showed a little bit more of the city. But like, this is like the level of just mayhem that I was expecting from like Devolver, and I didn't see their showcase yet, but like they out Devolver with Tim Robinson coming in for Skate. And I'm excited for this game because like who doesn't love a good skate game? And just having an open city that's abandoned.
This is like GTA skateboarding, right? Open world.
Yeah.
Maybe you can beat people up with your skateboard.
Well, no, they said they're abandoning this city, so all the skaters are moving in. So it's just like an open skate city to do whatever you want on. It doesn't. I don't think there's going to be like other people to like really interact with. There might be a few.
Well, no, you just beat the shit out of other skaters, probably. Mark, maybe. This is like instead of zombies, just skaters are going to be the next thing. Just we've got all these skaters that are attacking us randomly, invading towns to go to half pipes.
I'm in.
All right. Valorant is coming to consoles if you're into that type of game. Among Us is getting an animated series, but they didn't feature any of the voice talent, which the voice talent list is pretty cool. So more to come with that. Mm-hmm. The one bit that I thought was cool, Outer Sloth, who makes Among Us, they're basically acting as a publisher now and helping out indie studios publish their games. So kudos to them for being super successful and publishing some games. And they showcase those. Dune Awakening story trailer sets the stage for Paul Atreides. I was excited about this game until I heard it was an MMO, and I said, "Yeah, good on you." Moving away. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 trailer, Mark. When I saw this game, I'm like, it's not for me, but I like the sense of humor. It's playing like body Monty Python sense of humor at times, but with lots of like middle. Uh, it's coming off as a very Game of Thrones without any of the fantasy elements. It's really just like people that are dirty that are doing funny things in
Yep.
middle times.
Medieval
Then we got
times. Yeah.
Slitterhead.
Yep.
I don't know what's called Slitterhead. I don't like the name, Mark. It's kind of gross.
Yep.
It should have been called Slitherhead, but basically it's by the guys from Silent Hill, Kichiro Toyama, and essentially this thing slithers to people's heads and basically turns them into demons to take on demons. It's for you if you know this type of game. It's probably for me, but probably not for Mark. November 8th, 2024.
Okay.
Delta Force is back if you want to be a badass and shoot people. The game that was awesome was Killer Bean, though, Mark.
I was just going to say, if you want to be a badass and shoot people, the next game's for you, Killer Bean.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Keanu Reeves being John Wick or in The Matrix or Max Payne as a bean, being funny, shooting people with like what's the old term when bullet time?
Bullet time. Yeah.
Acting crazy, lots of catchphrases. Killer Bean, it's coming. Can't wait.
Looks good.
Wander Stop, it's a cozy game, but it's not actually a cozy game because it's got a dark secret. It's by the Stanley Parable creators. Look for that.
PS5
New World.
and PC, no Xbox or Switch.
Oh, really?
I
Interesting.
think for that one.
Because that doesn't seem like a high-end game by any means. No. So, yeah. New World is coming to consoles and other things. That's Amazon's MMO game. Pal World getting more stuff if you're still playing Pal World. Let's see. We got the Konami game, the Capcom game, Kunitsugami, that looks like a Kami, or not Kami, let's see, Onimusha. It's not. We've got some RTS elements or like turn-based elements. Looks cool. And then they closed the show with Phantom Blade Zero, which looked really cool, but I'm not good at.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah, that's
okay.
That was it.
Okay, Mark, let's grade it. Your review.
Man.
Okay, I just want to ask you though first. Did you like the fact that it was primarily Jeff, and then he added a random female co-host? I didn't know who she was. And that was about it.
That's it. It was an okay kind of showcase. It was very Keighley-esque, for better or for worse. If you don't like a Jeff Keighley presentation, you probably weren't sold on this. If you are a big fan or even, tolerate Jeff Keighley's shtick, then it was fine. I think it was moderately better than the PlayStation one just because it had so much to it with such a variety of like weird stuff. You can get Killer Bean or whatever it's called next to like, the
Power Rangers game
kind of thing with a Power Rangers game thrown. There was a whole lot of stuff. I like there's a Sonic Shadow Generation, which I think we skipped in the where we were going through the skate trailer that I already said was great. Power Rangers Rita's Rewind looks awesome. The one caveat I'll say that kind of is a personal first world problem letdown kind of thing for me, and I realize this is the most like first world problems. There were so many like wish list on Steam kind of games that watching these trailers, it was hard after the first few to get excited about things because I was like, is this going to PC only? When's it coming? What platforms is it going to be on? And when you're watching Xbox or PlayStation, obviously you know where they're going. Ubisoft Forward, you can kind of predict 90-something% of that is going to a console of your choice. With this one, it was tough because there were so many things that I'd be watching and be like, yeah, that looks kind of dope. And there'd be like Steam wish list on the Epic Store or whatever. And be like, oh shit, well, I don't really like play on PC. I don't really have a PC to play on. Like, do I have to buy another device to play some of these games? Are they eventually going to be coming for other things, but they want to showcase them in their event instead of on Keighley's stage? So that's why he's just going with all Steam. So it really kind of took me out of the experience. um, and killed some of my excitement. So I'll say like somewhere between a return and a rent for this one. I'm kind of teetery, but I think a little bit better than PlayStation. So I might be going closer to rent-ish. How do you feel?
Biggest letdown, then would you say then it's the no understanding of where these games are coming except for Steam?
Yeah. Yeah. And just like it's not something that I thought also like the pacing of it was kind of weird because they'd go for something that was like family friendly ish to like something with like cursing and smoking joints to like another trade. Like it was really all over the place. So like, who was this for? You know what I mean? Like it's, yeah, I don't know. It was a weird one, but like my most disappointment was it was hard to get hyped out over stuff because I never knew what was coming to what platform and yeah, um, I don't know. How are you feeling about this one?
Yeah, did you have a game of the show?
Probably Power Rangers for me, or Sonic or Skate, but Power Rangers definitely kind of stood out.
Um, and I will say, at least for the showcase, it was 2 hours long, really long,
Yeah,
really long.
yeah.
And also there was nothing to break up the show quite a bit. It was Jeff either talking to the audience or his cohort, which I appreciate having a new face, but I didn't know her from where, and she seemed a little nervous.
Mm.
So I never felt like it had a good flow from that instance.
Can I
And quite honest, yeah,
can I be completely honest about something?
yes.
This was the one I watched at work, and I was skipping through a lot of the talkie talks.
Mm-hmm.
I was going from trailer to trailer to trailer, so this was about an hour for me, maybe
Yeah.
less, which will tell you how
It's
much
the
they were
podcast. You listen
vamping.
to it like
Yeah.
you listen at like half speed or double speed. Yeah.
No, well, like I was actually skipping through because they had it like on YouTube
Mm.
where you could kind of skip to chapters and
Oh, got
stuff. Or
it.
like I
Could
was just
see
kind
which
of
game
like
is coming
I
up
was just
next.
blowing straight
Yeah.
through it. Like as soon as someone started talking, I was like, next trailer, thanks. Bomb. Like I blew through this one without listening to the talkie bits. So that could have taken it away if I actually watched it like this. That could have been my negative, like 2 hours of Keeley
Yeah.
talking and 15 minutes of gameplay. Cause I blew through this thing quick.
Yeah. I didn't feel like they added much when they talked. And that's the problem. Yeah. Why not? If Jeff's all for the gamers, bring out a dev. Give him 13 seconds, 15 seconds, say, this is my game. This is what it is. This is where it's coming to. Enjoy.
Mhm.
That's all you had to do. Not Jeff. Don't people come with the yard to Jeff? Jeff's a very handsome man. People don't come with the yard for him or someone else who I don't know who she is. And when she struggles or a little bit nervous, I don't feel like she's represented a game the way the devs would. And it's no offense to her. It just doesn't work for a showcase like that. So,
Mhm.
but I would give Jeff one caveat. He was saying this game, his showcase was going to be a little more indie, a little bit less like some of his showcase. So some of these games are just not going to be on console, maybe,
Yeah.
or maybe eventually if they find an audience. So I get that. But to your point, you're absolutely correct. I think every game, when they show it on the screen mark, should have a QR code that gives you everything you need to know about it. So you
Mm.
don't have to guess. It's one of my pet peeves. To your point, where is it coming to? Where is it coming? Where is it going to be? What's the name of this game? Don't make me wait to the end when I forgot what this game was and I don't remember it. So, but for me, it would be closer to a return as well. Not so much for the content; it's just it was too long. I didn't think the format added any value to this presentation, and yeah, I just felt like there was no theme to this. It was so random.
Yeah.
The flow was like,
Yeah.
yeah, to
That's
your point,
like,
here's a game that's funky. Like they had this game called Cuff Bust. Remember that game, Mark? With it was the fuzzy creatures that were breaking out of jail.
yeah, that's
That
exactly what I
was
was talking about.
funny.
But it's like,
It
but
was crazy, and then they're smoking
they're
a joint,
smoking
and
weed
then
on
yeah,
on a beach. So
yeah,
I'm like, oh, that because the whole time I'm watching that, I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. And then they're kind of like cursing and gibberish and smoking weed. And I was like, definitely can't show this trailer to Finn, which is a weird lens to view everything through. But that's where I'm at in my life.
but
But
no,
yeah, it
it
was a
just was
it was
weird.
a weird showcase with some odd pacing choices.
Yeah, the
Um,
biggest letdown I felt like a lot of the stuff was just random. I didn't know what to take away from the show, quite honestly. but my game of the show is probably the Power Rangers, but also the drop of the Alan Wake content because I think that's really cool and just coming
Yeah.
out of the blue. Yeah. So
Yeah.
there we go.
Awesome. Okay.
So Mark, Xbox time.
Xbox Showcase. That's so let's go through everything we saw at the Xbox Showcase. This one I thought was just great, just overall. But let's go through it. So we started off Call of Duty Black Ops 6. We got a reveal trailer. We saw more of this. The big redacted, not a secret thing was more Call of Duty. So whatever. But again, confirmed Game Pass day one. They confirmed this before, but they brought it home at this thing. Like, big deal. That is a big get for Game Pass for sure. They knocked it out of the park. Doom: The Dark Ages. Holy crap! What a trailer.
Mark, so I asked a question about this really quickly.
Yeah.
It's a prequel. And yes, he has a shield. I just thought he was going to be like throwing like spears and taking on like dragons. I love the feel of this though because he does have some interesting feel. I didn't love Doom Eternal, but when I saw this, I'm like, yeah, I'm all in. I just thought when they said Dark Ages, I'm like, I want him to. I mean, there are dragons apparently in this, but
I expected a bit more swordy instead of like here's a shotgun and a shield. But like there is a mace. You do get a dragon.
Yes.
So I am wondering if it's a little less guns or if that's kind of an option kind of thing because you did get that skull crusher shrapnel gun and stuff. So like I think they're gonna have some fun with like I'm gonna say like handcrafted looking kind of weapons and like early firearms. Like I think it's gonna be, but I kind of agree with you. I wish this was kind of more like if there's a projectile weapon, like do a fun take on like a Doom meets a crossbow,
like a cannonball or something. Yeah, crossbow. Right. Yeah, or I'm finding like these demon squirrels on the ground. I'm just loading them up and I'm shooting demon squirrels. Kind of like Tiny Tina's. What was it? Tiny Tina's that Borderlands game. It was D&D.
Yeah.
I thought they were going that route, but it still looks cool.
Still looks great. I loved it. State of Decay 3, zombie games. What is what it is. Dragon Age: The Veilguard. I'm
excited for that.
Fun looking.
I didn't expect to get a release date this year, and I didn't expect them to go as bright and colorful. But and I guess they launched gameplay. I haven't seen the gameplay yet because apparently they did it today. I need to watch that, but yeah, I hope it delivers.
Yeah. Starfield, some more expansion DLC, whatever you want to call it. The Shattered Space official trailer and some updates on that game. Which
did you see that? Did you see the trailer for that? Which, quite honestly, I feel like it's what Starfield needed because I think it adds a lot of personality. It feels like Dead Space within Starfield, which I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm going to say that for another game in Ubisoft too, that this is kind of what they needed from the start, adding more personality, separating themselves from other games and doing something that finally can kind of draw people in and stuff. So see if you can guess which game I'm going to say that in another showcase. We'll get to it. Fallout 76, another expansion with Skyline Valley. So many people are playing Fallout 76. The trailer for this I thought was awesome, very fitting with the show and the game, bringing both of those fandoms together. And we got a lot of people jumping on 76.
Everybody wants to be the ghoul, Mark. Everybody wants to be the sexy ghoul.
That's it. Now you're finally going to be able to. Claire Obscure Expedition 33.
Climbing.
I thought that was a really cool kind of trailer.
Yeah.
Very cool concept. Is that the name of this? Claire Obscure? Like, is it just called Expedition 33?
That's a good question. It's Claire Obscure Expedition 33. This is your Western turn-based RPG game. That's a little bit also Mario RPG combat where it's timed.
Yeah. neat trailer, cool concept of like this artist writes a number and everyone of that age dies or gets Thanosed away. And
I
they
don't
have
want
to
to
stop
die
the
at
artist.
33, Mark, because I'm already dead.
Yeah. Right. Well, no, you have to be 33 at that time. So if
Oh,
she writes 33 now, only the 33-year-olds are vaped out of this world.
oh, good for them. I'm not 33.
You're safe, but if if she writes your age, you're screwed. So it's a very cool concept. Um, but I think they should just call it Expedition 33, and the gameplay is what it is. South of Midnight. I thought this trailer looked, or this game
Whoa.
looked excellent when they first showed it a
Yes.
little while ago, and this trailer just again drives home how like unique and stylistic and really really cool this game looks. Um,
It's Spider-Verse in the Bayou is essentially what it is. But
yeah,
there's like a catfish you ride that, and then you have to take on a gator that has a talon on its body. And
yeah,
Mark, they take the one art style, but when you're playing it, it's not like that weird like frame rate, which is
mhm.
good because I would probably throw up.
Yeah, 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 but really cool stop motion animation
Yeah.
style, and yeah, just the environments, the characters, the just everything in this game looks so cool.
Yes.
And that's I think 25 release 2025. So
2025. Yeah.
we'll see
Yeah.
that in a little while. World of Warcraft: The War Within expansion. I thought this was going to be World of Warcraft is coming to console.
Yes, me
It
too.
is not. Okay.
It's
I'm glad
nothing.
I'm
They
not the
don't give
only
it to
one.
you on Game Pass. They just say it's
Yep.
coming.
Yep.
And quite honestly, it's a really old game. And I'm like, are they really
Yeah.
going to get new people to jump into this old game if it's
Yeah.
not free or on console?
Yeah.
Yeah, odd
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah, a weird one, but if that's if World of Warcraft is still your jam, thumbs up for you. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater remake of Metal Gear Solid 3.
I thought that was a PlayStation exclusive. I'm not mad if it is. I just know PlayStation was like, oh, we're doing this. Um,
Yep.
I really want to try to finally play this game and get it. I've tried it many times and it's never clicked.
Right.
I hope it's
Yeah.
good.
I did read something very interesting about this game is that your bruises, cuts, scrapes, and damage stays on your body. And even if you're healed up, like if you patch yourself up or heal up or whatever, you can still see scars and marks and things on your body. So by the time you finish it, your version of Snake is wearing the damage and looks unique to the way you played it, because if you get shot in the arm and I get stabbed in the chest, my Snake looks different than your Snake. So it's
Okay.
kind of like
So
you see this tapestry of your game on the character by the end of it.
so folks, if you're watching on YouTube right now, take your screenshot. This is Snake at the beginning of his game when you look at Mark. This is me at the end of the game as Mark. Or Mark.
That's it.
That's what you look like.
Some stuff happened.
Yeah.
There we go. Sea of Thieves season 13, become a villain, as if some people in Sea of Thieves weren't trolling villains to begin with. I don't know how
You
that
got like
one's
what,
gonna
a hot ride? Is that the
You
big
got a
thing?
new,
You get the
new ship, some new battles and loots and all that kind of stuff. Should be entertaining. I love that they're doing that for season 13. Lucky number 13. We're going dark. We're going villainous. It's kind of fun. Flintlock, the Siege of Dawn. Someone needs to be fired from naming games.
What? What? What would you call this game, Mark?
I don't. Just Flintlock or Siege of Dawn. What does all that mean? Who gives a shit? It's not like it's. Do we have another Flintlock game that we need like a colon Siege of Dawn on this stupid thing? Like, just name it one thing and then name the second one Flintlock, whatever the hell. Like, stop naming games four different asterisk names in one and expect it to sound like a franchise. Like, half of these games I looked up and I'm like, is this a franchise? Why are there two names? Who cares? Like, I don't know if that's just a me nitpick or something like that, but like, I don't know.
Flintlock doesn't even describe the game, and that's a problem.
No.
Make games cooler sounding by your title.
Yeah. Like
Mark,
if this was called
we're gonna
Flintlock
create a
and
company.
Fox or something,
Yeah,
like because there's like a
yeah.
cute fantasy foxy thing in this game,
It's a
and it's like
god. Yeah, it's a god that
yeah,
teams up with you.
and like if Flintlock is one, because this is like melee combat with swords and weapons and a gun, so if like maybe the Flintlock pistol has a little bit more with the gameplay, but like the Siege of Dawn, like who cares? But it looks
Okay,
really
Mark.
cool, but the name is so stupid.
Mark. Okay, let's stop right here.
All right.
Let's put our money where our mouth is. Name this title. What would make you put your $60 down or your Game Pass time down?
Straight up just call it Flintlock, because I think that's fine, because it doesn't need, I'm not saying the game like the one word title needs to describe anything. It's a one word title. Who cares what Metroid means before you played Metroid? But the first one was just called Metroid. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna do you one better. I'm gonna call this Kick-Ass and God, the Beatnik.
I like yours better. Anything is better than
See?
Flintlock, the Siege of Dawn.
I agree. I
This
agree. Because I
game
think of
looks
Flintlock, I'm
really
thinking,
cool,
are
though.
they like slowly loading old weapons that often misfire?
Well, see,
Flintlock makes me think of that.
Flintlock for me really does kind of fuse that, like it shows that it's not going to be like a game where you're constantly running and gunning, because a Flintlock is slow. It's a little bit more
Yes.
deliberate. It's a little bit earlier. So there's probably going to be some sword player, some melee, or some other stuff in there, because you can't just rely on a Flintlock. So that to me does describe a little bit about like the vibe that they're going for this
But
game.
there's also magic, Mark. So what you're describing is might be a history special, like History Channel
Right.
special with Flintlock.
Right.
Yeah. So you got to like add some like Flintlock, the
Flintlock
spark
fantasy.
of magic.
Flintlock fantasy or something. I don't
There you
know.
go.
Like just, but like I think Flintlock by itself is fine. What does the Siege of Dawn mean?
Nobody knows.
Who cares? But I did think this looks great. So dumb name
Oh, I'm
aside,
excited for it.
I'm excited for it. 100%.
July 18th, next month. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Age of Mythology retold. I freaking loved Age of Mythology back in the day.
Ooh.
Don't know if anyone knows this about me, but I effing loved that game. I remember the Christmas I got that game vividly because it was so good. And I played the
You
heck
paid
out
it
of it.
on mouse and keyboard?
Yep.
Oh. And you can play mouse and keyboard on Xbox too, if you want.
Yep. Yeah. One of the few computer games I ever really, really, really got into. So that was, yeah, that original game that was what, 2002, 2003. So I got that game on
Yeah.
the very first laptop I ever bought myself for university. So it would have been, that would have been around 2003, 2004. So I got that game a little later, which maybe when it was like, that may have been when it came out for Mac, because they're usually a little delayed.
Sure.
But I remember I was very excited that Christmas to get it. And I played the hell out of it. So there we go.
Mark, I'm going to say one thing to you.
Yeah.
Nerd.
Thanks. Perfect Dark looks
wow,
crazy.
That game was doomed to fail. Everyone said this game is in the shitter. Oh my God, Crystal Dynamics is on it. Oh my God, who's the studio? And we see this trailer, I'm like, that looks amazing.
Yep.
It's a first-person spy action game with cool weapons, and it's like the James Bond game you always wanted.
Yeah.
I am excited for this game.
Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, that's Perfect Dark, right? Like it was made.
Yeah.
They lost the James Bond license. They were like, screw it, we can make our own. And this is just taking that concept of like, here's the James Bond game you want a little bit in the future. And then they're just running with it. Like, it's still no laptop gun turret thing, but like everything else was there. It's hitting. And I'm sure that again,
it's traversal, it's combat,
oh, yeah.
it's spycraft. It's very cool.
Looks sick.
Good job.
Great trailer. Very for this next game, Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred. I thought it was a really cool, gross trailer. Very, very interesting for anyone still into Diablo. Fable. Mm,
Yes.
yeah. Okay, they keep doing fun trailers with this, but at this point, I need to see some like gameplay. I need to see some real stuff.
I want a HUD.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like I want like how you disperse your talents. I want to trade out my
yeah,
weapons. I want to show weapon like magic. I mean, Fable is all that. It's like magic and swordcraft, and I'm beating up demons and
yeah.
getting experience, and I'm being quirky with my comments and kicking chickens. There's been a lack of kicking chickens in these trailers,
Yeah,
but I love what they're going for.
yeah, for sure. Frag Punk is one of those games where I'm like, could this game get me to enjoy a card mechanic? Maybe you throw a card that makes people get big head mode. I don't know. It's a first person shooter with cards that change the gunplay and the world and everything going on. It's an interesting concept. I don't know if it'll be annoying or awesome in practice, but it's new.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if it's like you do it. It's just almost like a perk that you just.
Yeah.
It's a card, but it's a perk, and I'm
Yeah.
fine with that. It
Yeah.
changes like the rules of the where you're playing. I'm cool with
Yeah.
that. I don't want
Yeah.
to be like I only have 10 cards, and if I run out of cards, I have no ammunition. I don't
Yeah,
like
no,
that.
exactly. Yeah, it could, like I said, it could be super annoying, or it could be just like, awesome. Everyone has big heads now. Let's shoot them. Like, it could be the most entertaining and wacky kind of mechanic added to a shooter in a long time. Or it could be like, oh no, I don't have an ace of spades, so now I can't melee punch you. It's like, ah, shit, this is stupid.
No,
So we'll see how it is. Winter Burrow looks cozy and will make you cry. So have fun with that one.
I don't want to see mice die, Mark.
No,
But why? Why?
Yeah, I don't know.
The
And it
crop
looks like
didn't
it's
come in
like,
this year, Mark. Sorry, the babies are gonna die.
yeah, I don't know.
uh,
If you love being depressed playing video games, that one's for you. Mixtape. I really thought this one was going to be a Life is Strange game at first, and we got that later. So this is just a new kind of stop motion, cool animated kind of thing with killer 80s soundtrack.
Mark, this is me. This
There
is my
you go.
life. This is a game for me. I saw this. I'm like, I have never felt a game show like what I felt like when I was that age, and this game does it.
Yeah,
So I'm all
there you
for it.
go.
I don't know what your game is that shows you what your life was at 18 or 16, but this game does it for me. I'm so excited. It's so weird, so fun. I'm all in.
All right, excellent. Um, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024,
Mm.
adding some more stuff to simulator. That's some stuff that simulator fans, I'm sure, will be happy about. Elder Scrolls Online, 10 years, and they're celebrating with something called Gold Road, and celebrating 10 years. So that's kind of nice, and it's
I
launching
boycott that
June
game until it is
18th.
on Game Pass on PC. It is not.
So weird. So
Screw
weird.
you.
Strange choice.
I don't know why. I mean, it's like my it's like my platform to fall on and impale myself. I don't know why. It's just dumb, and I want them to fix it.
It's a weird
Fix it.
choice. It's a weird choice.
It is.
Life is Strange. I thought we were getting a Life is Strange game a couple of games ago, and then they were like, "Nah, here it is. It's great." I love this mechanic where she's going through two different universes. It's called Double Exposure. Should be interesting. As most.
Have you ever played one of these games, Mark? I think they are. I haven't, and they seem interesting, but I'm like,
They are.
I'd rather watch it for like an hour than play it for like 6.
Yeah. Depending on if you're a fan of how they can be kind of clunky and buggy and stuff. But the stories are usually pretty good. They're usually entertaining.
Sure.
It's usually a kind of good
Yeah.
thing. So if you can play it and not get like hung up on a certain part of the game that gets frustrating, they're usually pretty good. I played a couple of them, like the last two. I enjoyed them. And then we got Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Fan freaking tastic trailer.
Where's the
Feels like a
release
movie.
date?
I know. Yeah, it's like arrives in 2024. So like
Well, it's
it's coming this year. I'm gonna guess that's a
5
big
months
holiday game.
away.
Yeah, it's got to be their big
Come
holiday game,
on.
right? Like,
Come on.
gotta be.
It
But
looks
like,
so good. Looks so fun. And it's the
yeah.
best version of Indiana Jones we've ever seen. The voice is amazing. We aren't going to see his face because it's first person, but I'm extremely excited for this.
But you get some stuff in the like cutscenes and that kind of stuff, and the facial
Yeah.
animations. They've nailed it.
It
Absolutely
looks
nailed it.
great.
Looks amazing.
Just give us a release date.
Yeah, Mega Break. We saw that already. I'm not going to touch on that. Wu Chang Fallen Feathers.
Is this a Wu-Tang game?
Yeah. Kind of like a light Bloodborne kind
Sure.
of thing, grotesque. It's another one of those kind of gross looking games, which is fine if that's your thing. But I think there's so many of them that they're kind of all starting to blend together for me,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't think is helping any of them.
No.
Avowed, again, plague ravaging through a fantasy realm. Up to you to stop it. Spellcasting and melee crossbows. I think that's a cool take on it.
I
Kind
love
of
the
like what we
games.
talked
I
about
just want a
earlier.
release date.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
I'm so
Exactly.
excited. It's like we aren't getting an Elder Scrolls, so we'll get Avowed and give
Yeah.
it to me now and tell me when it's coming.
That's it. Atomfall,
You want to
fantasy,
Fallout, Mark? You want to Fallout?
big
They got a fall
robots.
in the name.
Yeah, that's it. And then we saw this a couple of times through. Everything has Assassin's Creed Shadows. We'll talk about it in a bit. Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl. Looks, like a Stalker game kind
I
of thing.
but I see there's like some like almost like extraterrestrial or like
Yeah,
fantastical elements of the game.
yeah,
I guess maybe I've just not been paying attention to Stalker, but that kind of won me over. I just don't
yeah.
want a game where I'm like, I'm running out of like my radiation pills, or I'm gonna die of radiation, or my mask is breaking, so I have to worry about that. If it's just a fun old kill like weird radioactive creatures in Siberia with some weird, I'm in.
Yeah, it's neat. We got two more things. That's a hardware refresh with a all digital 1 terabyte Series X, a 1 terabyte Series S, also in white. So both of those are in white. And then an absolutely stunning, in my opinion, Galaxy Black 2 terabyte special edition Xbox Series X with a controller with the green underbelly, just like my custom made controller from the design lab. I love this aesthetic. Obviously, that was the controller that I built in design lab. So I'm a fan of the green, black, and I love the speckle on the console. Absolute. Yeah, just like kind of, something for everyone in there, I guess. Not the refresh that we got leaked though.
No.
So it's a fine refresh, but I think their leak sets certain expectations that this just wasn't it. So set your expectations where they will be, I guess. Anyway, I don't know. I'm not buying a new Series X or S or anything like that. So it's just kind of nice to
I
look at,
guess
but I'm not.
after 2020 and now it's 2024, launching anything with less than like 2 terabytes seems weird, especially the Series X. And they make the one all digital with only 1 terabyte. They
Digital,
make the one with a
yeah.
drive. It seems like they just don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know everybody loves the design of like the Galaxy version. It could have been a wrap for like $50.
Right.
Just saying.
Yeah, and that's like I'm not gonna sell my Series X and upgrade to this. So I wish there was some stuff like that because they have that one wraparound wrap thing that they
Oh, the
did,
Starfield one was amazing.
Starfield one, and then they
Yeah.
just stopped doing that. Like it just I don't know. It's a weird choice. Anyway, the final thing that we got: Gears of War E-Day. New version of Mad World playing behind it. This is like Gears of War feeling like Gears of War. younger version of Marcus, younger version of Dom.
14 years before
Yeah.
Gears of War 1, I believe. Is that what it is? I think
Something
that's
like
what it
that. It's
was.
a few years younger than I can't remember the exact years, but like this is Emergence Day. This is the start of that war. Holy, yeah, looks very very interesting. If you're like Gears, if you like Gears, Gears is back. So that's it. Holy crap! What a showcase. There was a lot to take in there. What did you think? What's your review on this one?
Great showcase. I mean, I don't know what to say because there was no fat on the bone. I mean, Phil, Todd, and Sarah all showed up, but they spoke for like literally like no time and they let it go. My only problem typically with most of these is give us the name of the game the whole way through so we can identify it. But they're pretty good about saying where it's going to be, all these things, and also when it's going to come. So no shade on Xbox. I say this is a buy, and I am very happy with what they did. They came out strong, let the game speak. My only caveat is going to be they can't let the games not launch when they say they are. Yeah. If they launch when they're supposed to, they nailed it.
Yeah, absolutely.
High five.
Samesies. Yeah, solid review all around. Great new games, updates on stuff that we knew about, updates on stuff that we had. Nothing lingered too long. It was just games, 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 games. Tiny bit of talking when it was needed. Games, games, games. Biggest letdown, again, is a personal one for me. I'm just over zombie games. State of Decay 3. Don't care anymore. It's a zombie game. Game of the show, Indiana Jones, maybe like Doom, Gears of War, though. Oh my God. Like just so much good stuff. Yeah, buy. Absolute buy. They absolutely won. I think this is a good reason for Nintendo just to be like, "Ooh, thank goodness we backed off by a couple of weeks." Man, because they just hit it at all points. So good. So yeah, that's just a great showcase.
Yeah, my biggest letdown was like the games are supposed to come out in 2024. They said 24, no release dates. That's frustrating me because I feel like if you're not committing now, I feel like some of these slip, which is frustrating.
Yeah, it's worrisome.
Yeah. Other than that, my game of the show. Wow. I love the tone that Fable's setting, but I still want some gameplay. But I love that what's doing. I think Perfect Dark coming out of nowhere to really like say we're alive and we are giving this game a reason to believe, especially when, quite honestly, it's not like Perfect Dark has had it's had the best history. I think this is their best chance of success. So good job, Joanna Dark. We love you.
That's a very good time to go back to our predictions. So let's check what we got right and wrong. Xbox predictions, what we expect to see. Chris was back for this one. He said a new Gears game.
Boom.
Yeah, Chris, nailed it. I said Indiana Jones and Perfect Dark. Nailed it with gameplay and a great showing for Perfect Dark. And Todd, you said ABK.
I pooped the bed, Mark.
Offering WoW on Game Pass. And BC backwards compatible?
I'm just saying, like, where's the Activision? Like, all the Activision games you get backwards compatibility. No mention of that.
Okay, yeah, right.
Yeah. Didn't do it.
No, Avowed redeemed.
I think it did. I think people were happier with the showing than they did before.
Yeah, I think so. And a Fallout remaster. Sadly,
we got Adamfall though. We got Adamfall, Mark.
Adamfall. I'll give you the same 0.001 points for that. So you got like Avowed and the Fallout remaster. I think not too bad for that one. What we want to see, Chris, Quake and a small charming game.
What does that even mean? A small charming game? Is it the game with the mice that are gonna die?
I was just gonna say, is that the mice?
Oh, sure.
That we're giving them to that for charming?
Sure.
I said Banjo Kazooie and Goonies DLC for Sea of Thieves. So like swing and a miss on that one. Absolutely
I
not.
really think Sea of Thieves needed that. They didn't need just like the weird ship that is
Yeah.
scary. Yeah, they needed Goonies
Mhm.
or One Piece.
Or
People have said
oh
One
man,
Piece.
One Piece would be
Yeah.
so good. Oh my god.
Yes.
Uh you Double Star All Stars or Double Fine All Stars and Crimson Skies too. So aside from like a small, I don't even know if that mouse game is charming. It looks like a small, depressing game. So I'm going to give Chris partial points for that one because I don't know if charming and depressing are the same
Was
thing.
there any cute games? I can't think of any other really cute games on Xbox.
No, I
No.
don't think so. Someone's screaming right now. I was like, this looked cute. And it's like, no, I don't think so. Uh, what you don't want to see, no casual mobile and no RTS.
Yeah, sure.
I think so. I think that's
Yeah, we got the Age of
age event. We got some RTS.
Mythology,
Yeah.
kinda.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. So I guess you lose on that one, but no
Sorry,
mobile.
Chris.
So that's no casual mobile. So partial points. Don't tell me why Game Pass is great. And by showing me like
And
an
old
old
news is
sizzle reel or that
yeah.
kind of
You
thing.
got it. You succeed, Mark.
I think I
Good job.
got the points for that one because they didn't. There's no Game Pass sizzle reel. It was like no, like
Yeah.
hey, look at everything we can. There were some games that like Sea of Thieves and like Starfield and that kind of stuff, but it was all like new
Those
stuff
are
for
big
those. You know what I
games.
mean?
Yeah, those are big games. Yeah.
It wasn't like that sizzle reel that I just really didn't want to see.
Oh.
No talking heads, no montages, no focusing on games that are coming out really, really soon. I think you nailed that too. There was just enough talking heads, but it wasn't like a daily presentation.
No.
There were no montages of things, and it wasn't like a game that's coming out, like there's no real, like too long of a focus on something that's going to be dropping real soon. I think you nailed it on that one.
I just want to pat myself on the back.
Do it.
Good job.
Sadly,
Todd.
I'm not close enough to do that for you, so you got to get your own.
Yep.
All right, last one that we're going to talk about, Ubisoft Forward. Let's run through these games. New Star Wars Outlaws gameplay revealed. Oh, lickety crap. We got a trailer as well. That game looks awesome. It looks like the Han Solo simulator that no one ever got and that we all kind of wanted. Looks awesome. You got a cute little axolotl best friend that's following you around. Axolotl puppy or whatever you want to call that thing. I love it. It looks great.
It's Shadows of the Empire done well.
Yeah. Sorry. Prince of Persia. We saw a whole bunch of stuff. We got DLC coming for the game that's out right now. We saw
Lost Crown.
Lost Crown. We saw the Prince of Persia rogue like thing with
Rogue Prince of Persia.
Fun little trailer for that, or fun little like preamble by the developer of saying like, I recorded this 2 weeks ago and now it's out. So thank you for billions of copies sold, right? 100 score, right? Yeah, that's what we're giving it. I thought that was hilarious. Showed a lot of personality. And then we got the drop for the Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake coming in 2026, which I think is...
Thank God it's still alive. I'm so excited to play that game.
Yeah, still alive. I think the 2026 was kind of like, for me, that kind of like, yeah, it's still alive. Oh, 2026. It's just kind of, I don't know. But it is what it is, I guess. Good that it's still alive. That's great. And lots of Prince of Persia love is good. We got a deep dive into gameplay of Assassin's Creed Shadows. Looks really cool. I love being able to pick between, do you want to just hardcore smash everything? You want to go sneaky like a ninja? Pick your poison, and they'll kind of react and kind of makes your playthrough of the game between the two of them. You can focus on how you want to do it. Yeah.
The gentleman from Minnesota has a question.
All right.
Is this a game where you can go and shift to either or is it I've picked a class, the heavy or the stealth, and I'm stuck with it?
No, it seems like they team up and it seems like they're going on, but it seems like when you pick it for a mission, you're kind of locked in. Now
Oh,
that
it's
could
mission based
change.
versus like I'm stuck.
Mission based.
It's not like I
Yeah.
picked the
There-
female or the.
They
Okay,
showed
well
it
that's
in
cool.
a gameplay
Okay,
showcase. I don't know if it was in the main trailer, but in the gameplay
okay,
showcase, they did show it was like, okay, we need to find where they finished a mission, and it showed the dude, I can't remember his name, but he just like smashed through some enemies, full just brute strength ward path, like just made his way through, and then it stopped, and it showed the two of them talking to one another,
oh okay,
and it said, okay, our scouts told us the guy is up here. We need to go in. How do you want to go about it? And the big samurai dude's like, I want to smash through the front gates. And the girl is like, well, I kind of want to stick to the shadows. I want to do this my way. And then it branches off, and you get to
okay,
pick.
and then you
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 want to
pick
go
which
for
one.
her? You
Oh,
want to
that's
go for
cool.
him? And in the
I like
gameplay,
that.
it said her. So it picked her, and she said, you know what? By the time we get there, it's going to be nighttime. Let me do my thing. And he's like, fine. You know what? Whatever. Do your thing. Um, and she's
I
just
like
like,
that it's
I'm
not
going to
all
go
or
it
nothing,
alone.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
then for the
nice.
next mission, you can pick him, and you can kind of play it the way
That's
you want
cool.
to. And
I
you could
like that.
probably pick him for every single thing, or her for every single
Sure.
mission, or most of them at least. I'm sure they'll mix in those, like, he just got an arrow through the knee. You got to play this one stealth. Or like, oh, she's captured. You got to brute force your way through this, right? But like, I'm guessing you're going to be able to mix up 90% of the missions in this one, which is really, really cool.
Nice.
I like it.
Very cool.
We got an interesting trailer for Anno 117 Pax Romana. Again, just one of those names that it's like, why? I know, and this is one I know that Anno is a series, so good for
Yeah.
them. But like,
It's a man on a cliff
names,
talking to people,
talking to
and it
ghosts,
showed a gameplay mark. That's not exciting.
not at
Don't
all,
do that, Ubisoft.
not at all. We saw some DLC for Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, the Skybreaker coming out next month. So again, one of those things where it's like it shows something that's way too far out, no gameplay, and then shows something that's next month. So I thought at least that was well balanced. X Defiant Season 1 starts next month. Cool.
Yeah.
Capture the Flag, another shooter game kind of thing. Looks neat. Skull and Bones update. This is the game I was talking about earlier. They're doing a new season. So season 2 has just started. It's underway. There's a megalodon you can face off against. That's fine. Season 3 is teased in this, or they talked about it in this. It's called Into the Dragon's Wake. There's some cool new characters, but they've introduced a flying dragon sea monster that you can face off against. If they had have gone with a fantasy element to this day one, this game would have set itself apart from Sea of Thieves, where you can already fight some cool mythological creatures, but I think adding dragons and sea beasts in here. Think about this game. Actually, you know what? Just stop listening to this. Go watch The Sea Beast on Netflix and
Yeah.
come back and tell me you wouldn't want to play that game in this kind of style with like dragons and monsters and all this kind of stuff. Right now, season 2, you're fighting a megalodon. Cool. I've been doing that for 10 friggin' years on Sea of Thieves. Megalodons are everywhere. I'm not excited by megalodons, even though I have megalodon teeth all through my house and everything. I love megalodons, but like, I don't care about it in this game. But you throw dragons at me from day one, and this game is a different story. And I think the fantasy element really could have set it apart from Assassin's Creed, from Sea of Thieves, from everything, and would have made such a more interesting game from day one. I hope by the time season 3 comes around, maybe this game will find a new audience and they'll be able to see that and be like, yeah, we got to get more dragons. We got to get more big, crazy things. Let's throw some weird sea beasts in here. I just think that makes it so much more of an interesting game. But I don't know if it's too little too late.
Might be.
Yeah.
So, Mark, I would say Ubisoft, to your point, Maybe if they had gone a different direction with that game, it'd have been a little bit more of a different take on something else. Because obviously, Black Flag Assassin's Creed was something that people loved, and this would be a differentiator versus feel like, oh, it's a game that you're just a pirate and you do that. So
Yeah, well, I
I kind of
mean,
agree. Yeah.
yeah, right now the game just feels like a piece of Black Flag, and I know they put a lot of work. If you watch the Ubisoft um, the pre-show before the forward, they jumped into like how long they spent on water physics and all this kind of stuff, and they put some time into this game. And it was in development hell for a while, so I hope they put some time into the water physics. But like, I still think, and I've played this game, and I still feel like it's just a piece of a great game where they need something to differentiate itself. And like ship to ship battles ain't doing it. Fighting a Kraken, not quite doing it for me. Throwing in a dragon? Yeah. Fantasy elements. Bring it on. Could have been a great differentiator.
I mean, Ubisoft does stick with its games for years. I mean, we've got For Honor has been around for
Yeah.
wow, 8 years. So maybe it's something where like they feel like, hey, if they stick with it, people will find it and it'll go there. But to your point, it's like they should have really focused on maybe a different hook to get people from the front. It is interesting because with Ubisoft, we don't know really what's next for them in regards to long term. We know kind of Assassin's Creed is where they're sticking, but still um, uh, none of the Sam Fisher experience people want. Beyond Good and Evil 2 is pretty much MIA. Are the Rabbids coming back? We don't know.
I hope so.
Don't know. Starlink, Mark? Where's Starlink? We miss you.
Holy man, Starlink is in Star Wars. Did you like
I saw that. They brought in like combat.
The ship and like helping out other things and like bad guys randomly attacking you while you're flying your ship. That was 100% Starlink. Like they just straight up took Starlink's like ship battle and traversal in space and just dropped it in this game. It is 100% Starlink. Like the second I saw it, I was like, "Whoo, they didn't even change that." Like that's just what it is.
Cool.
Which I thought that was a good part of that game. I think that looks great.
Yeah, because we haven't got a lot of like Star Wars space combat, except if it was just solely a space combat game. Like, what was the game called that they did? Squadrons? That's what it was called.
Squadrons, Rogue
So
Squadron.
it's kind of nice to get that mix. Yeah. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah. This is the first game that's really doing both because like that was just used for fast travel and stuff in Jedi Fallen Order or whatever. So really cool. And the last thing we got from the showcase is the Crew Motorfest Year 2 roadmap. So if you're a fan of the Crew, to your point, Todd, they're supporting this thing. Here's the Year 2 roadmap after a successful Year 1, I guess. So yeah, Ubisoft does stick with stuff. They do learn, it seems, from like what's working, what's not working. So there's hope for any game that's there, but we'll see what they do with Skull and Bones. I'm kind of curious on that one because I love the pirate life. I think more pirate life stuff is good. They just got to find their footing. What'd you think of this one? How's your ratings for this one as we go?
I'm Beyond Good and Evil is like my wheelhouse. We also have Mortals, which no longer exists. So my interest in Ubisoft is pretty diminished these days, but I am all over Outlaws with Star Wars. So that really influences me. But this would be a return. The biggest letdown is, once again, no show for a lot of the games I love. And then the game of the show, definitely Outlaws.
Yeah. It's a rent for me. It's not a buy. It's definitely not a return though. I don't think I'm going quite as harsh as you did on this one. I thought it was a good show. There's a good mix. Updates for current titles, stuff coming soon, a couple of glimpses that are, in my opinion, too far out of the future to put this one as specifically in a buy, but I think a pretty good rental. Biggest letdown, Skull and Bones, I think, is just for all the stuff that I just said. I'm not going to go harp on that anymore, but I think seeing that and knowing or feeling like it could have changed the game right from the start is kind of bumming me out. But otherwise, I think, and like you said, no Rabbids, no things that we've kind of wanted to see, but they showed what they showed, I guess. So there we go. And then game of the show: Star Wars Outlaws, Shadows, Assassin's Creed Shadows as a close second. So there was some stuff to love here. There was definitely some stuff to love. I'm a big Assassin's Creed fan, big Star Wars fan. Solid rental for me, and inching its way towards a buy. Like, I think Star Wars Outlaws is going to be one of my games of the year. Assassin's Creed also could be in contention for one of my favorite games this year, because I love Assassin's Creed games, and this looks like it's going to change up the formula in cool ways and have a fun samurai ninja kind of setting and aesthetic to it. So, rent inching its way to buy.
I am curious if the Assassin's Creed game really can condense the awesomeness versus being like it's 120 hours. I would rather have 40 hours of awesome versus 120 hours of things like that. If they can do that, I'm definitely in, because I've liked was it Origins, then the game in Greece, and then I liked the game in Valhalla, but they were just too big. I just got distracted. So constrain the awesomeness.
I agree completely.
Well, there we go, folks. Holy cow. We got through it all. And we are very excited to see these games when they actually deliver. So we'll talk about them, and we'll be playing these games as much as we can. So with that, Mark.
Yes.
Tell our friends where they can find you on the interwebs.
You can follow me on Instagram or TikTok or Threads as Canardian_gamer or Canardian_Jedi, whichever one. I'm a little bit more active on Jedi, so if you want to follow me over there, that'd be cool. And of course, I'm always in our Discord channel.
Excellent. Yeah, and I always try to tag you. I'm not sure which one to tag you on Threads, because that's where I am predominantly.
To be completely honest, I was looking today and wondering if the separating the Jedi and gamer thing was kind of like, I wonder if this would be something to help me organize things and keep things straight. And I just find that I'm only posting on one and not the other, because I don't have the mental capacity to handle more accounts.
Sure.
So I'm thinking about potentially shutting down gamer, obviously, because that's the least active one, and just kind of moving. If I post some gaming stuff on Jedi, then people just have to deal with that. So I might do that. So we'll make it easier for you.
Hey,
we'll see.
You be you, Mark. You be Mark. We love our Mark, and you be you. We just want to make sure you're in the love of our gaming content. So there we go. Myself at Teoxtra, at Secret Friends Unite. If you're on Twitter still, as I call it, at Teoxtra, at Secret Friends U. That's where you can catch us. Check out our YouTube page. Check out our website, secretfriendsunite.com. And that is our show. So thank you, Mark. Thank you, folks. If you like what we do, check us out everywhere we are. And remember, it's always better to game together.